Good morning, gang. Happy Wednesday morning. So here we go again. All right. Yesterday was a very interesting day that kind of slipped under the radar for a lot of people. Okay. When the founding fathers wrote the Constitution and started putting together the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments to the Constitution, they started with the ones that they thought were the most important and worked their way down. And lately, we've seen the attacks on the Bill of Rights get even worse, okay? The First Amendment, freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of the press, yada, 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 yada. Okay, well, will anybody disagree with me that we've seen those attacked? I mean, freedom of religion, forget it. If you're a Christian in this country, you're persona non grata, okay? Freedom of speech, I don't know. Anybody been censored online? Okay. Uh, Anything that you say that doesn't agree with the liberal narrative, you're a racist, right? We've all heard that. Doesn't matter what, the sky is blue, you're a racist. The term has no meaning anymore at this point. Freedom of the press, I don't know. Just take a look at Tucker. They'll give you everything you need to know right there. AOC and Schumer calling out, saying we need to shut down Fox News. We need to censor Fox News. Freedom of the press, guys. First Amendment. Okay? The Second Amendment. Okay. The next most important thing that the founding fathers, the right to bear arms. Right to bear arms. Period. The end. Not up for debate. Okay. Like I said, yesterday was a very interesting day. Nebraska, yesterday, Jim Pillen, the governor, signed the law making Nebraska the 27th, more than half, state to recognize constitutional carry. Yay, good, okay. It's hilarious that the states have to say, you know what? We recognize that the Constitution is the law of the land. So we've got to make a law that says we're going to follow the law. Literally, that's what this is, guys. So we have 27 states that said, oh, okay, we're going to follow the law. That means we have 23 that have said, we're not going to follow the law. We don't like the law. Doesn't matter, it's a law. We're not going to follow it. Okay. You know what? What if somebody says, I don't like the law that says murder's illegal. I'm not going to follow it. Oh, yeah, right. I keep forgetting about history. If we look back at recent history, the Democrats don't like that law either. That's why they go on all these mass shooting sprees. Yes, for all those people that disagree with me, you're wrong. The mass shootings that we have seen in the United States over the last 10 years, something like 98% of them have been done by liberals. Okay. Yes, so we don't have a gun problem. We have a mental illness problem, and I'm sorry, I don't care how you slice it. Being a liberal is a mental disease. Okay? So you go into how that happened. Jay Inslee, Washington State, okay? Yesterday, and don't get on me about the term, I'm using their term, signed their assault weapons ban, okay? Because anything that's a scary looking gun is an assault weapon. Okay, I'm sorry. There's a lot of scary looking women out there. There's a lot of scary looking men out there. There's a lot of scary looking people who don't know if they're a woman or a man out there. Can we ban them? Oh yeah, they're all liberals too. Okay. Please, let's get a liberal ban. They are the biggest threat to democracy there is. Okay, they're the biggest threat to life that there is. Inslees New Law doesn't ban the ownership of a AR-15, an AK-47, or whatever. If you own one now, you're fine, almost. It bans the purchase, the manufacture, or the sale of any AR-15, AK-47, whatever you want to talk about, or any parts. So if you've got a AR-15 and your bolt carrier warps or something like that, you can't buy a new one in the state of Washington. So what does that mean people are going to do? They're going to drive across the border to Idaho, and they're going to buy one there. And then they are going to transport it back to Washington. Congratulations, Inslee. You have just told people if you want to exercise your constitutional federal rights, you have to violate state law, which would make you a felon. Okay? See where they're going with this. Now they're going to try to prosecute people for exercising their federal rights. This will inevitably wind up going all the way to the Supreme Court, and inevitably it will be thrown out by the Supreme Court. But how long is that going to take? And you got to remember, this is how the liberals do things. They pass a law knowing it's unconstitutional, but they figure, okay, in the time it takes it to go through court, we can stop whatever we want to stop, right? It's not like this law is going to be up in front of the Supreme Court tomorrow, and they're going to go, you know what, you can't do that. Okay, it'll take months, if not years, to get through federal court, appeals court, to the Supreme Court, make a decision, yada, yada, yada. Okay. So give at least a year. The people in Washington can't exercise their federal right to own a weapon. It's funny because Inslee's quote is, nobody needs to own an AR-15. True. Okay. But I'm going to give you this. The first 10 amendments to the United States Constitution are not the Bill of Needs. They're the Bill of Rights. Okay. I will also give you this point. Nobody needs to get an abortion. But you seem to be all over how great that is, right? You want to say, how many times do we hear, abortion's a constitutional right? Please, somebody show me where it is in the Constitution, but that's their claim, okay? Owning a weapon is a constitutional right. You're taking that away, but you scream bloody murder when people try to take away rights that aren't in the Constitution, okay? You can't rewrite the Constitution on your own. It can be done. It's called an amendment to the Constitution, all right? And you need to get 2/3 of Congress, both houses, to agree, and 3/4 of the Senate or 3/4 of the states to ratify it. It's very simple. No, it's not. Okay. On paper, how you do it is very simple. The actual practice of doing it is not. But this is the thing. We have now seen another state join the fray of, you have the right to protect yourself, to protect your family, to protect your property. And we have another state that says, criminals have all the rights, you have none. Because what did Inslee do with this? And how did I explain this on Going to Idaho? Do you honestly think the criminal element in Washington's going, crap, we're out of business? Jay said we can't buy any more gun parts. No. Jay said, you just got to break the law again. They're going, no problem. Put another tick mark next to my name there, Sparky. I got another one. Dumb. Can't think past the tip of their nose, okay? The criminals don't care. Look at any of these shooters. Where do they go? We're going into a school. We're going into a mall. We're going into a business. Why? All of them have these nice little signs out front that says, gun-free zone. Gee, that means there's nobody in there who's going to confront me. I can do whatever the hell I want. Fortunately, they didn't go as far in Washington as outlawing everything, or saying, you have to turn in whatever you have. God knows they probably tried and realized that wasn't going to go over well. But Seattle, Redmond, whatever it is, go take a trip to Portland this weekend. Go see what your city and your state is about to turn into. There's a whole lot of people west of the or east of the coast that are going, no, sorry. Washington used to be one of the states that had some of the most friendly gun rights until the state went completely nutso and said, you know what? We need to elect a bunch of Democrats. We want to be just like California. We want to be another failed state. That's exactly what's happening. You can already see what's going on. California is a failed state. Oregon, obviously, okay, at least the metropolis in Oregon, because the rest of the state wants out, okay. Washington's just going to follow the same play. If you go look at a map of who has constitutional carry, again, like I said, as silly as it is, making a law that says we're going to follow the law, okay. These are the states that have it in one way, shape, or form. Idaho, Utah, Arizona, Montana, Wyoming, North Dakota, South Dakota, now Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Iowa, Missouri, Arkansas, Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio, West Virginia, New Hampshire, Maine, and Vermont. Now, if you listen to that list, all of those are red states, except the three in the New England. Okay, Vermont is a traditional blue state. Hell, they elect Bernie Sanders. Okay, they're a communist state. New Hampshire and Maine are pretty purple. The rest of them are all solid red states. There are some missing, okay? North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, Louisiana. Get your ass in gear, okay? You need to start joining the party here and going, we follow the Constitution, especially Florida, okay? Florida, DeSantis, Trump, hey, both of them from Florida, right? Why aren't those, DeSantis, you're the governor. Why doesn't your state say, we follow the Constitution? Tell me that, show me that, before ever sticking your hat in the ring for 2024. Because until that gets done, right there you've proven you aren't worthy of a seat at the White House. Pinball out.